All right, guys, welcome back to another video of your man Jay. Wow, this is an interesting conversation I wanted to have. Now, I already put out a video of when the Apple event happened. I talked about how hey, the iPhone 16e. I just don't see the value there. It's missing too many things for $599, and I don't know if anybody's confirmed yet the screen resolution. A lot of people are asking what the screen resolution is. I didn't even bother looking because I believe it's 60. They're using the same things from like a combination of the 14, 15, and iPhone SE. It's strange. The peak brightness is 800 on a regular usage, and only like 12 for peak nit brightness. It has no SIM card. It doesn't have MagSafe. Like, I mean, come on, this is a weird step backwards. For them to give it the body of like a 15 or a 13 with the rear end of an SE, it's just weird. And I don't see, and the audacity of them to make one that's a 512 gig for $899. I don't see the appeal here, folks. Let's do one thing together. Okay, let's kumbaya for a minute. I wish this narrative would go away, that the people buying these phones are elderly people and children. I don't have an iPhone SE or these lower trim versions just because of my age or that I can't keep up with technology. So we should really dead that conversation because there's more people sitting amongst you. And yes, I fall on the older tier of the YouTube content creator spectrum, with Will H Tech Reviews and My Project 13. Sean P isn't a content creator, but he's on that side, and pretty much people that are well into their 50s maybe, or I think Easy just turned 50. But the problem with that statement is this: I just don't believe it to be true. I just think a person's going to get whatever phone they want. Maybe you younger generation keep trying to push your parents onto it or your grandparents onto it, because of whatever reason you think it's a thing. But I don't think the iPhone 16e or the SE is geared towards people that are older or younger. This is coming down to money when it comes to a parent buying a device for their child. If a parent is conscious of their funds, they won't even entertain a smartphone for their child until they maybe get to 16 or make their child buy it themselves when they make their child get a job. Because you don't technically need a cell phone. But by today's world, everyone has a cell phone. And, unfortunately, some kids get bullied if they don't have a cell phone. It's sad how the world is today. But I'm so glad I'm not growing up in this generation here because we didn't have any of that stuff and we were way happier. We had less, but less is more. We communicated more. There was more face-to-face, more hands. It was just a better world, but I'll get past that. But this conversation about the 16e is, some people are trying to start that narrative that, it's a great phone for an older person. It's a great phone. How old do you think I am? I mean, it's a great phone for young people. Folks, this comes down to price. Let's just say I didn't have grandchildren, right? And this conversation is who is the iPhone 16e for? Like, who is this phone for? Let's just say I didn't have grandchildren, didn't have grown children, and I'm in your world. I still wouldn't buy this for my mom or, an older uncle. I wouldn't introduce this phone to them because it comes down to the price of the phone. The iPhone 16e isn't a bad phone, folks. It's going to blow away. We all know the way this works. Apple's phones are so powerful, they pretty much can handle anything that you throw at it. It doesn't even matter if they're older generation phones, and their older generation phones still perform like new because their hardware is so good. They make great products. That's not what this video is about. It's the fact that the 16e exists, and I don't know who Apple thinks they're going to sell this phone to. I'm never interested really in how much money companies make. I don't care if they sell a phone or not. If a phone is good, it's just good. It doesn't matter if the company sells 1 billion of them. It doesn't matter. If something's just good, it's just good. And if something's bad, it's bad. I think right now there are a few things that I see on the 16e that are just kind of bad. First thing is, They're saying this completes the 16 lineup. Okay, but it doesn't have MagSafe. Okay, let's just move the SIM card tray out of the way. It doesn't have MagSafe. It has 7.5 watts Qi charging. That is what the iPhone SE had. The wireless charging. I don't understand where this phone fits in. I don't get it. Again, it's not a bad phone. It looks good. Sadly, another thing here that they screwed up on is the color options. There's only black and white. To me, I don't think they even want to sell this phone because you got to give me more options than black and white, especially if your lineup is full of colors. Remember the last thing they did? And they're talking about Apple Intelligence and things like that. When you press the button, you get all the little colorful. Remember what was the saying? I forgot the saying. Color. I was gonna say color me bad, but that's a group from the '90s. I don't know what the saying was, but that was their thing. Ooh, all the colors. And then they bring out the 16E to complete the lineup, and it has 2 colors with no MagSafe. That is a strange one, folks. 2 colors, no MagSafe. They took a combination. It's bad enough that Apple recycles their hardware. It's bad enough that they do this, but they use the rear side design of the SE and the front side of, we can even say the 12 or the 11 that, for that matter, because when in that initial video that I talked to you about the phones when on launch day, it's just the front of an iPhone 11 or 12. I would say 12 probably because they compared it in performance to the 11 and 12, not the SE really. I thought that was pretty strange too. But nonetheless, who is the iPhone 16e actually for? Don't put that phone on the older generation. You could tell my generation to get an iPhone 16 and just spend that extra $100 or that extra $200, and it is a much better deal than the iPhone 16e. No MagSafe, no SIM card. It would have been at least a little bit of a game changer if they would have done a SIM card tray. Then I wouldn't be so quick to write it off because I do get a government discount. So the phone for me doesn't cost $600. It's a lot less. So they could have at least, and I know there's a lot of people saying, hey, Jay, in my market, I know it's just the U.S. The U.S. market is, they want to control their consumers by locking them into carriers. And so Apple makes these eSIM phones and, they're great for carrier use. But for a person who likes to live unlocked and they like to move their phone, SIM cards from phone to phone, I switch phones at least 4 times a week. This phone doesn't change because it has an eSIM, but this phone number right here, it goes through so many different phones because I'm reviewing a lot of phones. And so I'll give a phone 48 hours and I move to the next phone, give it 48 hours. And then sometimes I just lock it in. My SIM card, this SIM card has been in the OnePlus 13 more than any phone lately. It's been rotating between the OnePlus 13, the Galaxy S25 Plus, and the Galaxy S25 Ultra. And then any other phone that I want to put it in. But the Pixel 9 Pro is my small powerhouse device, which leads me to the next segment about my small Android powerhouse device. And this is my small Apple powerhouse device, both 6.3-inch displays, which leads me to the next problem I have with trying to recommend the 16E. It has the same size screen as the 16s and the 15s and the 14s and the 13s, probably even the 12s. I think they were all 6.1. So there's not any major changes to the screen tech. And I'm not saying Apple has to. Again, if you're paying attention, this isn't a bad phone. It's just missing some key elements for the price point. This is coming down to price. $600, no MagSafe, same tech from years ago. Memory option, 128 for $600, $699 for 256, and then $899 for 512 gigs. That is what I paid for my OnePlus 13, and that is a much better device. Now, and I've got multiple cameras. There's a whole bunch going on with it. So if they were really trying to make an entry-level, complete the family 16, the 16E is not it. It's not it. This is just coming down, for me, I'll say it for me, it's just coming down to price. That's the only thing holding me back, because I originally said in my initial video, I'm gonna get it. You know, I think I did like a iPhone 16e coming. I called it the iPhone SE 2025 at the time. And then I saw that it was gonna be called the iPhone 16e, so I did another follow-up video for you guys. But I said in that initial video, I'm probably gonna get it. I don't see a reason to buy this phone. I just don't, folks. I don't see a reason to get this phone over the 16, over the 15. Over the 14. I just don't see it. If they're trying to sell me on Apple Intelligence, it's not going to work, because Apple Intelligence has nothing on Gemini. Gemini is absolutely great. Gemini is so much better. It's incredible. So they can't sell me on that, trying to convince me that, you know, Apple Intelligence is going to be so great. It's not going to happen. It's got a long way to catch up to Gemini. And I mean, hey, I really hope that they do catch up to Gemini, and I really hope that they bring out a quality assistant of some nature. But I just don't know who the iPhone 16e is for. Don't put it on the, oh, give it to my mother. No. Why would you give your mom or your pop something like that, knowing that you can just give them an iPhone 16, or, as my man Dave Chappelle would say, or you could just get them a Pixel 9. This is a 9 Pro, but get them a Pixel 9. I think that's an even better purchase than the iPhone 16e. I don't see how that phone completes the lineup when it took away key things that make it an iPhone. Again, not the SIM tray. It doesn't have another thing. It doesn't have the dynamic island. And this is just Apple cheaping out. They're already recycling parts. But see, Apple's fear is that if they make it look too much like the current lineup, people won't buy the current lineup, and which is a smart business move, obviously. If they bring out the iPhone 16e and make it look like the 16, and then price it at $499 with MagSafe, with the dynamic island, what would be the purpose of getting the 16? You want another extra camera? Well, they've solved that by giving it the same Fusion camera. So price point, to me, seems to be the deal breaker. For me, you can break it down any way you want to break it down and tell me why you would never buy this phone, and you could tell me who it's actually for. But again, don't put that on the elderly. So we'll give it to my mom, my pop. Nope, don't give them that. You give them a Pixel 9, or you just give them an iPhone 16, or an iPhone 15, an iPhone 14, an iPhone 13, and they can keep their SIM card. Make it easy on your parents. They can swap that SIM card out. There's no setup needed. Doesn't matter what carrier they have. They just boop, boop, pop it in, boom, done. On to the next, help them set it up. So let's talk about what I think the phone should cost. And this is just based on, again, I can tell you folks, the phone is probably gonna be nice. It's probably gonna perform just like, it's got a, okay, another thing also, it doesn't have the same A18 processor. This is the A18 Pro, but it doesn't have the same A18 processor in the 16. Keep that in mind as well. So let's talk about, because there are some underlining things that the phone just doesn't have when you break down all the, and it's right on the Apple website. I love when they put everything on the website. That's where you need to go. That's where my source is. It's not, I read it on this website. I got it from apple.com. That is my source, apple.com. Now, how would I have priced this phone? Seeing as though the iPhone 16 is just $200 more, Apple, word of advice, if you really want to make an affordable device, make it actually somewhat affordable within your own lineup. You don't have to compete with everybody else, but pricing it at $599 and it's missing all the key elements that I would think would make it a new iPhone, no. I say, for the price point that they brought it out of, I saw some of your comments about what you think it should cost. I think it should have cost $399, because not having the dynamic island, not having the dynamic island. Again, these phones mix up; they're the same color. Not having the dynamic island, not having a lot of things that the 16 lineup has, it's kind of depressing. Knowing, see, I was looking, I was tracking, I got some packages coming. Not having the dynamic island, knowing it doesn't have MagSafe, knowing that the charging is still slow, knowing that it doesn't have the same processor. They're going to sell you on it's got the C1 or something like this. It's got some other product, the A18, but it's special. No. $399 is my price point for this phone. $399 all day, and and that's cutting them some slack because not having MagSafe, ouch. And a case for this thing is going to be $50. Now, knowing Apple, they'll put the case with the MagSafe, and then you got to buy the case to get the MagSafe technology. Knowing Apple, that Apple tax. Now, with all that said, I'm not making this video because I hate Apple. Obviously, I have a lot of Apple products. I love Apple products. I got tons of them. I buy every iPhone that comes out. I use it as a daily driver, and I've been using this as a daily driver since it launched. So I just feel like this phone doesn't fit the so-called family. We're not completing anything with this family. You're just throwing something out there and you're dangling it out there hoping someone will bite that's not paying attention. Well, I'm for the average consumer, and this is a time, folks, that I tell you, those who follow me, those who come by and watch me all the time, this is a time where I say you're better off buying a 16, a 15, a 14, a 13, a 12. If you can find them brand new. Now, they've taken the 14 off the site. The 14 used to be on the site, but I believe now the last one they have on the site now is the 15. Let me double check. Because I was looking on the site and the only iPhones I saw were the 15s, I believe. Let me log into my Apple store here and let's go to device. Let's go to iPhones. And I think the oldest one I could find was the 15. 15, yeah. The 15 and the 15 Plus are now the oldest phones on the website. You can see that. I don't know what it's coming across. But the 15 is the oldest phone on the website, folks, and I suggest that you buy that. I would not recommend getting the 16E over one of those. I just can't do it. I know I'm going against my word. I'm human, but I'm just trying to save you the headache. I know I said I would buy it, but I was like, man, I even said if it has a SIM card, I think I'm gonna be all in. But when I started reading that fine print, I was like, yo, no MagSafe. And that video that I did when I was recording the screen, I hadn't looked at the website yet. That was all new to me as I was reading it to you. So I found out it didn't have MagSafe and the slower charging, all this kind of stuff when I was reading it to you. But I'm here to tell you, at $399, now there's some people that say, hey, Jay, it's going to be free on carriers right away. I believe you. I believe that because these are the deals that Apple's going to make with the carriers to get you to stay locked in. And it's going to be locked to those carriers because you took it free for bill credits. It's a scam, but it is what it is. It's a scam to a person who doesn't want. I live unlocked. All my phones are unlocked. I buy them at full cost when I have to. If I can get some kind of discount, yes, I get a discount with Apple. But overall, my phones are purchased at full cost and they're all unlocked. And that is why I prefer a SIM card. So it's overpriced to me and it's a scam to me because I'm not locked into a carrier. I have Visible Wireless. There's a link in the description if you want to grab your service of Visible Wireless. It's way better than a lot of carriers out there right now. And you can get the first month for $5. And no, this isn't a sponsored video, but I'm just telling you, use a referral link. I'm tapped out on credits. I don't get any more credits, so you can get a free month of service. Basically, you can check Visible out for $5. It's totally worth it. And then put your number over because I know you'll love it. But nonetheless, I think it's a scam because I'm not locked into carriers. A lot of people are locked into carriers, and a lot of people, not in a derogatory way either, they just don't plan on leaving. Remember, I was with T-Mobile for almost 27 years. So once the service got bad, like it physically got bad, I was like, I'm out. I tried all the carriers, and the only reason I really went with Visible is because I like how their system is. I like the referral program. It's really direct. It's easy to understand, and that's it. I could have went with Mint. Mint is another good one. There's a lot of them. There's a lot of good carriers out there, folks, that are prepaid. So, I just tell you about Visible a lot because Visible is it's a good service. It's a good service. So it's up to you to determine who you want to go with. But I think that, and look, it's already got something from Rinky. Make your iPhone 16e MagSafe again. I cannot make this up. Look at it's 340, it's 349, and this came in at 348. Look at this. It says make your iPhone 16e MagSafe again. Pre-order your MagSafe case for Rinky Collection now. I guarantee you, Apple's gonna do the same thing, son. This is bad business, man. Like, why bring out this phone and then in their profit gain and margin is gonna be so big on accessories because people are gonna want MagSafe. Super lame. And if you can see, I'm not wearing a case. I don't like to wear cases. I hate wearing cases, especially around the house. And then when I leave, sometimes I'll just take them right in the pocket like this. I'm out. I want to just feel nothing on the phones if I don't have to. So, discussion, folks. Discussions are always good. I want to hear from you. I'm telling you how I feel about the 16E. $399 should have been the price tag to me, but that's just me. And I say that because I come from a place where I'm buying everything at full cost. There's no carrier credits for me. And that's just how I feel about it, especially with no SIM card and no MagSafe and slow charging, no dynamic island. Come on, son. Come on. They're not right for this one. Good looking phone. I'm sure it's going to be a powerhouse, but it's not for me. And if I get that phone in here for a review, folks, I'm going to tell you something. I must have got it for $250. I'm serious. Or I got it for my $399 price. Because even my government discount isn't that low. It's a little bit above that, but I'm not going over $400, especially with no SIM card, no MagSafe, no dynamic island, a different processor, just all of the above that I've discussed, and the two colors. I mean, come on. Come on, son. That's just me. But if you see that phone on this channel, man, I got it unlocked, but I got it for $400 or less. Word. For real. Seriously. I tell you no lies. I have no intentions. I lost interest as soon as I saw that price tag. Straight up. So, again, recap as I get out of here. I'm not trashing the phone. I'm not trying to be an Apple hater, whatever. If you think I am, whatever, it's on you. It's not my problem. But I'm a avid iPhone user, so I just think this phone doesn't fit, especially for the price. And like I said, that's the only thing that's holding me back. Price. I would love to try it, but I know what it doesn't have. And so if I do get it, it's not going to go well, probably because I'm going to be too busy comparing it with the current line that has all the things that it's missing. So I probably should stay clear of this phone. It's your man Jay. Hope you guys enjoyed. Discussion's over. I'll see you in the next one. And I'll see you in the comments.